Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for January 9, 2025. We're going to be doing some best ball drafts for the 2024 NFL playoffs. We can probably do three of them. I think that's what it'll come out to. These will be a lot of fun. I've been doing a few of these and they're pretty addicting. So I guess you guys will see how we do and you guys can tell us how great we did or how terribly we did. Please let us know. But before we get everything started, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As you can see here, I'm wearing a November is Sloth Month shirt. For those astute viewers from last night's show, you might be thinking, Walt, isn't that the same shirt from last night? Well, I have actually two of these shirts. However, this is the same shirt. So I've not changed clothes yet. So that's how we roll here with two kids under 3 years and 1 month. But yeah, you can get that shirt and many others in the Walter Football merch store. 15% off sale. It's not the 25% off sale we had around Christmas time, but still 15% off. It's pretty sweet. You can also go to Amazon, buy my books, Jerks to the College Years. This is my most recent book where I made fun of people at Penn State. It's a lot of fun writing this. I think you guys will like it if you guys like Jerks of the Week at all. Also, how the 2020 MVP was stolen, which is an expose I wrote about how Brett Favre tried to sabotage Aaron Rodgers. So it's a great story, if I do say so myself. I think you guys would really enjoy it. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. You guys help us out a lot there. Can Make an Eagle gave us a great super chat yesterday. Last week, we had John Sanders and Slew as well. You guys have been so awesome with your contributions. Just really appreciate it. And especially now because this is Q1. And in the advertising world, Q1 is the worst. On the main site, our advertising has dropped by like 60% compared to what it was in December. It's pretty brutal. And these YouTube ads are going to, like, they paid nothing before. Now they're really going to pay nothing. So any super chats would be really welcome. But we are joined by the Kenny, the cap is fake.com. Kenny, how's it going?
Bro, I'm living a dream. I mean, I just took a little cat nap. That's why I was starting late. But other than that, we're great.
Yeah, I texted you. I'm like, are you asleep? And then you said your wife had to wake you up because your phone went off.
Yeah, my lady comes over. She's like shaking me. She's like, your phone's going off. Are you recording tonight? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch as well. I was doing my I was doing some 2025 fantasy football rankings. I'm up to the running backs. And I kind of just like dozed off and I woke up like 20, 30 minutes later. I'm like, crap, I got to get downstairs and start recording. So I hear you. I mean, it's so tiring with two kids, as you know. I was reading to my son tonight and I was like dozing off and like he loves this book. It's actually a pretty cool book. It's about like the wonders of the world. Like the Great Pyramids and like the Eiffel Tower and Mount Rushmore, etc. And so he loves the science book, and like I was reading it, and of course this is like the 8th time in like 12 days we're reading this, and so I start like dozing off. I'm like this, and he's like, "Daddy, read, Daddy, read." I'm like, "Oh, okay." It was pretty brutal. So I definitely needed a little bit of a 20 to 30 minute cat nap there, as you said. Before we begin, as Cassandra's saying, I hate to sound completely insensitive. Like, Cassandra, come on. Like, who are you talking to here? We're the most insensitive show in the world. You don't need to sound sensitive. But does anyone know the status across various books on already placed wagers if the venue for the Rams game is moved? I don't know if it gets canceled. I really don't know. So you have to get it checked. I don't know. That's a good question. I know a game has to go, was it 55 minutes for it to play? But if the game is moved, I'm not sure. They might cancel the bet and refund you. But I don't know. Have you heard of this at all, Kenny?
No, that's a good question though. And I mean, I don't think it's insensitive. I think it's fair to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I remember there was a COVID game that was moved in 2020. Wasn't there? Remember there was a game that was canceled because a bunch of guys had COVID.
Yeah, there were a few of those games that
a couple games that were moved to like there was a game that was like on Wednesday randomly that like during that season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the bets were, if I can recall, they were just canceled and refunded into like the game was canceled or it was, and then when the game was then like rescheduled by the NFL, the lines like the games were reposted in the books, with different lines too, if I can remember. I'm pretty sure there was a game that was moved from like Sunday to Wednesday. It was a Steelers game. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So this NFL betting rules canceled, delayed, and postponed games. I'm seeing that that if a game moves locations, some books will void all bets if the venue changes. DraftKings allows bets to stand if the home team remains designated as the home team. So it I guess it depends on the sports book. You know, I don't.
Different.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we just don't know what's gonna happen there. So
if I were the bookie, I would the house would win. That's how I would run. I win, bet over.
right, exactly. Yeah, no, the Bengals Bills game that got canceled because of DeMar Hamlin on the second offensive drive for Cincinnati. That I had a bet on Cincinnati, and obviously got canceled. And then that actually affected our fantasy championship. Remember, I was playing Jacob in the championship. I had Joe Burrow and T. Higgins left, and I was down by like 39. And I was like, I have a decent chance here with these two guys. And then they just got 0 for the championship, and so I had to forfeit that. So that was my. I know it's a different thing. Obviously, there wasn't a change of location, but yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully there's no change of location. Things improve, but it's pretty bad out there. So hopefully everyone is safe. Who's usually on the show, commenting and stuff. So, all right. Do you want to get into best ball?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay, so we have this. Let's go over the rules very quickly. So you start 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, and then you have 6 bench spots. Prize pool's $2 million, 500,000 to first place. So I will say this: if we win the top prize, we will split the top prize after taxes because you will have helped me do this, or whatever prize we get after taxes, we'll split.
Dude, stinking IRS. I was doing my taxes earlier tonight. Oh, it's the worst.
I know. As I texted you, a bunch of pedophiles. So
I was like, whoa.
It's true. It's true. Like you have to be a certain level of scum to work in the IRS, and what sort of person will do that? Like the person probably diddles kids, probably.
Side note: so I dated a girl who, many moons ago, a girl I did not marry. I dated a girl in my early 20s whose mom worked for the IRS, and I remember when I first were dating her, I was talking about her, asking about her mom, ask her questions, whatever. And she's like, "Do you want to know about my mom?" She's like, "My mom works for the IRS." She's like, "Everything you can think about the IRS you don't like, that's my mom."
Wow.
She ended up not being nearly as bad as this girl described her mom, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, I'm sure you didn't get to know her all that well, you know.
I dated her for a while.
Well, I mean, maybe on the surface, but what is she like privately and stuff too?
Yeah,
to her daughter, you never know. You never know, right?
I mean, very IRS like for sure.
Yeah, really. How's that?
Yeah. The stereotype of kind of like a stickler, a little bit ruthless, a little bit kind of cold hearted, calculated, very this is the person that's trying to get shake people down for every potential penny.
Yeah, brown shirt person. Cam Ward is the betting favorite to go first overall. Sanders at plus money. LOL thoughts. Yeah, I mean, look, there's some negativity for Sanders. There have been reports saying that some scouts don't view him as a first round pick, which I find kind of crazy. But if the fact remains, Deion Sanders is going to have a say in where his son goes. So if Deion wants his son to go to Cleveland instead of Tennessee, I don't know why he would prefer one over the other. Then I think that it makes sense for Cam Ward to be the top pick. I don't know. I mean, I know Deion was not very happy that the Titans fired Rand Carthon, even though Rand Carthon spent like a drunken sailor in free agency last year and had 3 wins to show for it. But and he also drafted Will Levis in the second round, so he's made some mistakes. like, yeah, it's a little quick to fire him after 2 years, but I don't know. Like, I think the writing was on the wall there. But so if Dion doesn't like what Tennessee did with Rand Carthon, then I think it makes sense for him to prefer Cleveland. Plus, you have Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, maybe Nick Chubb bounces back. Like, there's some semblance of weaponry in Cleveland. So I think that makes Cleveland more appealing. And plus, you have that defense too to lean on. Whereas Tennessee, they have Calvin Ridley, but like, who knows how long he's going to be around there. Tony Pollard, but like, can he stay healthy? Like Tennessee just seems a lot less appealing. So if I'm Dion, I'm trying to get Shedeur Sanders playing Cleveland of the two.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that I want to play in Cleveland. That team has been so the organization has been so dysfunctional. I feel like anyone who goes, it's like, ugh. Like, I hear what you're saying. There's some pieces there, but like, that could, I don't, man. If I was a person of any talent, I'd try to pull the Eli Manning card. Just like, like, I'm not going there and try to convince some team that's, further down the top 10 to move up and just sort of play hardball with. The Browns are totally dysfunctional, and I feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad for a lot of fan bases. Like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, your team sucks. Like, it's part of sports. Like, whatever. But like, there are a few fan bases where like I legitimately have like compassion for, like, and Browns fans, like, they're in that category. Like, it's been pretty brutal to be a Browns fan for a long time now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so if you're Dion, who you try to get to trade up? The Giants have the third pick, Raiders have the sixth, Jets have the seventh, Saints have the ninth. Those are the other teams in the top 10 who need quarterbacks.
Of those teams, the Saints would certainly be the most like appealing organizationally. Like, this team has not been dysfunctional. They've won a Super Bowl not too long ago. They've had decent success. They've got a decent fan base. Like, I feel like all those other teams right now are in total disarray. Like, ugh. I mean, I don't know. Like, the Giants. Man, the Giants have won Super Bowls and they've been decent, much to my chagrin. But maybe the Giants actually would be a team. Big market. A lot of guys don't want to deal with that. But if you can handle the big market, I would imagine the Giants would also be maybe a relatively attractive spot.
Yeah,
Malik Neighbors is certainly going to be helpful.
Right. Yeah, Neighbors, Tyron Tracy looked good last year. I'm thinking the Jets too. You have I don't assume Devontae Adams is not going to be back, but they have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They spent a first round pick on Olu Fashanu, the left tackle. They still have Tyron Smith, Elijah Vera Tucker. So they have a semblance of a good offensive line and a decent defense. It was terrible last year, but they have good defensive players to support Shedeur Sanders. So I think the Jets seem pretty good too.
Oh man, that owner's dysfunctional though. You have to deal with him.
That's true.
They're just everywhere. Like, some of these organizations are just like, they've got. Do I want to work with that guy? Like, do I really want that? Just like, yuck.
Yeah, 30 seconds. I need a massage. Don't we all? It wasn't there a report that scouts don't think highly of Cam Ward as well. Look, scouts are gonna dislike players and like other players. I've said this a few times in the past, but ahead of the 2017 NFL draft, I talked to a higher up on an NFC team, and he told me that he had a third round grade on Deshaun Watson, but Patrick Mahomes was his top quarterback over Mitchell Trubisky. So I don't know why he just didn't really like Watson at all. But he loved Mahomes. So yeah, I mean, and look, obviously Watson won in the first round. So, and this guy he was second in command on his team. So like a higher up who really didn't like Watson, and yet other teams liked Watson enough to trade up for him. So, it's there are varying opinions out there all the time.
I mean, speaking of Mahomes, there was varying opinions on Mahomes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There were teams who said he's a generational talent, should be taken at the top of the draft, and then there were other teams that were like, this guy's so erratic. He's, people were comparing him to some super inconsistent quarterbacks, or just like, this will never play at the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's there's definitely detractors. Look, Trubisky went 8 picks before Mahomes. That's to tell you everything you need to know about that. It's kind of insane. All right, so we are set to draft here. We have pick number 2. I'm going to let you make these decisions in this first draft.
Oh man, that makes me nervous.
Well, I'll have some input as well. So I'll kind of like guide you someplace because this is the first time you're doing this. Yeah. So we have pick 2. I assume Josh Allen is going to be pick 1. I've done like 7 or 8 of these drafts, and Josh Allen has been the top pick every single time. So,
oh really? That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, and keep in mind that, like, I know you like to draft quarterbacks later. This is only 1 running back and 2 receivers, and plus a flex. But so that the quarterback is more emphasized. If this were 2 running backs and 3 receivers, then quarterbacks would be worth less than they were. So we have a minute left until this starts. Lamar Jackson, and this is sorted by ADP, so that helps. Would you rather go Lamar Jackson or Saquon Barkley, or maybe Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Hurts? What are you thinking with the 2 pick? What would you do?
My thought process is I'm thoroughly convinced that the Eagles are going to go to the Super Bowl. And so, because I'm thoroughly convinced that Barkley's going to play 4 games. Now, obviously, if I'm wrong on that throws my my strategy will be terrible. But because I'm thoroughly convinced of that, I just feel like Barkley's feels like the best pick as a 2 pick or in the 2 spot.
Yeah.
Is my logic terrible?
No, I drafted at the 2 spot and I took Barkley, so we agree. I think there's a decent chance the Ravens lose to the Steelers. Honestly, I don't. Like I gun my head with betting $1.25 in this economy. I think that I think the Ravens beat the Steelers. However, I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it can go either way, and I'm not a big fan of the Ravens. I think they have some major flaws that could be exposed. All right, so I'm gonna hit draft Saquon Barkley. So we have Saquon Barkley here, and as predicted, Josh Allen goes, Lamar Jackson goes 3. So I assume that this Z Shell guy, unless he's tuning in, might be surprised to say, "Oh, I got Lamar Jackson at 3." Well, good luck, if he loses in the first round.
I'd be really surprised if the Ravens lost to the Steelers. I hear what you're saying about the Steelers, but I'm sorry, I hear what you're saying about the Ravens. Like, I think you're right. Your assessment is right, but I don't have a lot of confidence in the Steelers right now. The Steelers don't look great.
Yeah, well, they beat them the first time, and now they have Pickens, which they didn't have. So, all right. So AJ Brown goes. We're on the clock after this next pick. So the top players available: Justin Jefferson, James Cook, Jared Goff, Devontae Smith, Puka Nacua, Mark Andrews, Jameson Williams, Travis Kelce. Who are you looking at here? We'll have to see who's drafted. What are you thinking?
Again, I'm trying not to
Justin
overrate
Jefferson.
my opinions on who's going to. But did Jefferson go?
Jefferson won. Yeah, we have 23 seconds.
Yeah, I think James Cook is probably. I mean, he's the next on the ADP, but I think he's probably. Oh, you can't. That's your flex. Yeah, I think you got to go Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean,
okay. We have 2 seconds.
How many games are going to?
Okay, we got Puka Nacua. This goes quickly.
I'm just not sure how many games the Rams are going to win. It's like,
yeah. So
it's hard to say. James Cook as a, but do we want Cook as the flex? I don't know. I wrestled there.
James Cook, Jameson Williams goes. We're up again. So we have Jared Goff, Devontae Smith, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, Mike Evans, Khalil Shakir, Sam Laporta, Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, Xavier Worthy, Ladvin Conkey. Who are you thinking?
I mean, who's the? We got almost 10 seconds here.
Yeah. I'm just putting a star here so we don't get 5 seconds. We're gonna get auto drafted.
Maybe Mike Evans. Oh,
okay. We got Jared Goff.
Oh man, that goes fast. Wow.
Yeah, it goes fast. I know. You have to make decisions quickly here.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow. This is a little pressure. I'm feeling the pressure. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we got Jared Goff. Let's go back to the draft board. Devontae Smith, Mark Andrews. It's a 6-person draft. That's why it goes so quickly. And yeah, 30 seconds. It's 25 seconds per pick. So, all I can tell you this right. I don't like this start here. Even like if I try to get Devontae Smith. I think that would make more sense. But so Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta go. Yeah, so our quarterback's Jared Goff. Like you can easily get locked out of quarterback, as you can see, but because there are only so many quarterbacks. But yeah, the first draft I did, I told you before we started recording, like I drafted good players. I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown and then AJ Brown at the 6-7 turn here. And I was like, this is pretty good. And then I realized afterward, like once I looked at my team, I'm like, this team has 0% chance of winning this thing. And I can tell you right now, I think this team has 0% chance of winning already. But I'll tell you, and I will tell you exactly why afterward. Now, because like these are good players. Even Jared Goff, like what are you going to do, quarterback, right? But all right, we are up in one pick. So best players available: Khalil Shakir, Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, Xavier Worthy. Lad McConkey. We're up now. Aaron Jones just went.
I feel like Aaron Jones is the best player available. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Kyron Williams is probably the best player available here, or Josh Jacobs. But I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to win.
Right. That's the problem. That's the catch, right? You have to pick players who will advance.
I guess Shakir. It's PPR, Shakir.
Want to go Shakir instead of Kyron Williams?
I think so.
Okay, let's go Shakir. All right, we got our second receiver. Our team's Jared Goff, Saquon Barkley, Puka Nacua, Khalil Shakir. We're going to see what this guy does. He's taken Josh Allen, James Cook, Jameson Williams, Lad McConkey, Dalton Kincaid. We are up again. So Kyron Williams is still there. Do you want him?
Yeah, I think, although I think they're not going to win, I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I think he's the best player by a long shot.
Okay. All right. We will take Kyron Williams. And so our team now,
Worthy's going to have more games. So yeah, it's hard. It's interesting. It's just hard to know how to rate my estimation of who's going to win the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the issue with taking Lions and Chiefs players obviously is that they don't play this week, and you have to win this week to advance. Like we have to win this pod. We have to beat these other 5 teams to advance to the second round. Mm-hmm. And then you will have those Lions and Chiefs players that we drafted Jared Goff. So we're gonna need a quarterback for the first round. Otherwise, we will score 0 at the position, which means we won't win. All right, so Xavier Worthy, Pacheco goes. Justice Hill went 504. That's a little early. But I think this CBLA team's kind of interesting. So we'll see. Your team is not optimal with 3 NFC players. Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. Who will this year's playoff Puka Nacua be? that's the question everyone's wondering. Marquise Brown goes. All right, so let's look at the best players available. We have Dallas Goedert, Josh Jacobs, Zay Flowers, Nico Collins, Terry McLaurin, Sam Darnold. Take him for the first round. TJ Hawkinson, Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels. Any thoughts on those guys?
I think Daniels could be a great pick here. I think it's easy that
Jacobs goes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you can wait on quarterback here first. I mean, Jordan Love is maybe still be available. Yeah, I think maybe Goddard actually is the best play.
Goddard. Oh. I'm gonna start him.
I could also see Nico Collins totally going off here.
Did he go? Nico Collins went. Nico Collins went to 602.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of keep pace with this because all right, so we have Dallas Goedert starred, which will be the auto pick for us. So there's still McLaurin, Darnold, Hawkinson, Mayfield, Jane Daniels, Montgomery, Joe Mixon, who I think is going to be phenomenal week 1 of the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to win. But I think Mixon or Dobbins, like whichever team is going to win that game, I think they're worth owning. And then Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman. So we're going to be we're on the clock right now. McLaurin and Montgomery went. So what are you thinking for this pick?
Yeah, I mean, you said there's no quarterback still for week 1, right?
We don't have a quarterback for week 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or one of those running backs you just mentioned. That's what I'd be. So, Mayfield or Mixon or Dobbins.
Let's go Mixon. I know you like Mixon. Let's go Mixon. And then we're going to have some options on the way back, right? We're going to have either Darnold or Daniels or Mayfield. Like they're not all going to go. I don't think so. We'll see. I guess famous last words, but I don't know. Anyway, Hawkinson Hopkins goes. I don't know if you noticed anything about these teams, but I think it's take Daniels. Fantasy Football Dad says at this point, take Watson and Tank Dell. Baker Mayfield goes to 7-5. It's the first quarterback here for K Mills, which I don't like. I can't say I like K Mills' team. Just looking at it, Justin Herbert goes. I've been drafting some Justin Herbert, just because like, what if the Chargers win a few games or something? And like Chargers could make the Super Bowl. I don't think that's like. I don't think that's impossible. Now I would put them below.
Odds? Let me pull that up.
I would put them below the Bills and the Chiefs, but once you get past those two teams, I like I said, I don't like the Ravens, so I think the Chargers would be my number 3 team. But then again, I'm like I said, I don't like the Ravens. All right, so we have quarterback available. Let's just go Jane Daniels. Daniels over Sam Darnold, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go with that. Unfortunately, McLaurin's gone, so we can't pair Daniels with McLaurin. All right, so we have 4 more bench spots. So this draft's almost over. As you see, like this goes very quickly, and we are on the clock now. Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman just went. So we have skipped Darnold. We have McMillan, Sutton, Kareem Hunt, Zach Ertz, Jaden Reed, Brian Robinson, Matthew Stafford. What are you thinking?
I mean, Jaden Reed in the best ball, right? Jaden Reed could go off.
Yeah.
So could Sutton or Reed, either one of them.
I like Reed better. I think there's a better chance Reed wins. This kind of goes against our team, Saquon Barkley, but I think there's a better chance the Packers win than the Broncos. And just look at the spread. I mean, the Packers are 4.5-point underdogs. The Broncos are 10-point underdogs. So it makes sense, but. Yeah, so we got Jaden Reed here, and we have 3 more picks. So what are we looking like for the first round of the playoffs? So Jaden Daniels with Saquon Barkley, Puka Nacua, Khalil Shakir, and then Kyron Williams is our flex. Seems pretty good for the first round, right?
Or Mixon.
Right. Or Mixon. That seems good for the first round. So I think I like our chances of winning the first round. But like I said, this is a 0% chance to win. I'll point out why. And I made the same mistake when I drafted the first time. I'm like, if you like think about it logically, you're like, oh, I'm going to tell you why, and you're like, oh, I see it. But anyway, so Josh Palmer goes, Zach Ertz. We have 3 picks left. Sutton's still there. I don't know if you want to take him.
Sutton's still there. He's the best pick.
Yeah, we have 3 receivers, so it makes sense to take a receiver. We should also take a tight end at some point, with our only tight end being Dallas Goedert. Okay, Sutton goes. We have Brian Robinson, Stafford, George Pickens, Tucker Kraft. Any of these excite you?
No. Noah Gray could be an option. Later in the draft, maybe.
Okay, I'll just put him there for now. You don't like Pickens? I think Pickens.
Pickens. I guess I don't think there's a chance they're going to win, but yeah.
You don't think there's a chance the Steelers win?
I think there's a chance, yeah, but I don't think it's like super likely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, they're 10-point dogs, but man, I just think the Ravens are overrated. Evan and I had this discussion yesterday about the Ravens Steelers game. It was our longest discussion. He loves the Ravens, so we're a completely different sides in that game, but I just think their pass defense is so bad. I think they can get torched very easily. I don't trust their protections. 3 of their offensive linemen aren't very good. Lamar Jackson has a bad history in the playoffs. And the Steelers have their number. They've beaten them in 5 out of the last 6 times or something. For whatever reason, they just play well against them. Let's take Noah Gray just in case he goes. We have 1 more pick left. We can try to draft a crappy player or something. Let's see. Might excel in Greg Roman's archaic offense. Zeke's Elliott an option? No. His 2.5 YPC will get first downs to keep going for it. I don't trust Lamar's mental space in the playoffs. Yeah, that is one of the issues for the Ravens. I think they have a lot. I think they have to overcome, and maybe they do. Like I could be wrong. I just think this team is so flawed. But yeah, so I have not drafted. I think I've drafted like one Raven, and so far in these 8 best ball drafts. So that's why the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, because I've like almost 0 Ravens.
I hear what you're saying. Like you said, their defense could get torched. I'm just like, I don't see the Steelers being the team that could torch them.
Well, I've seen Wilson and Pickens have great success at some points this year.
Wilson looks so toast to me right now. Like just
he does.
He looks terrible compared to what he once was.
Yeah, look, he had a terrible finish to the regular season, but I don't know. All it takes is one game. It's a one game, and he has looked good at some points this year, and Pickens is coming off a terrible game, so I think that he will bounce back. It doesn't like you just need to. And the Steelers have their magic number against the Ravens for whatever reason. They beat them the first time. The second time they didn't have Pickens, so I think they'll be better prepared this time. And Bo Nix goes, the Bo Nix to Marvin Mims hookup here. All right, this is our final pick of this draft. We have Stafford, Jordan Love. There's not much here. C.J. Stroud. Any thoughts? We have 17 seconds. Freiermuth, Harris.
How about Harris?
All right, let's go Najee Harris. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we finished our draft with Najee Harris. We're going to stay, and we're going to discuss this team, and I'm going to tell you why this team has 0% chance of winning the 500K. So think about it this way: like if we make it all the way to the final round, what is our lineup going to be for the Super Bowl? So we are hoping for, what are we hoping for? We're hoping for Eagles to get there, obviously, because we have Saquon Barkley and Dallas.
Eagles Bills.
Right, we have Eagles Bills, right? So we have for running back, we have Saquon Barkley. For receiver, we have Khalil Shakir. Sorry, receiver 1, Khalil Shakir. And then tight end, we have Dallas Goedert, right?
Right.
And then what? And that's it. We had no quarterback. We had no receiver 2. We had no flex. So we're going to get 0 at all those positions.
That would be this. There's going to be other teams that get 0 goose egg spots in their lineup. Like every team, is going to have goose egg lineups, unless you go all in on one particular Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do, because the let's see the contest details here. So you're totally right. Like you're going to have that doesn't say. I'll pull it up in a bit. You're going to have other teams that get a bunch of zeros as well. Like you're totally right. But you're going to have some teams that have some correlation, and those teams are just going to outscore you. Like we don't have a quarterback. Like we're just going to get outscored in this ideal Super Bowl matchup, or both of our quarterbacks are in the NFC, so it's not like we're even rooting for an AFC quarterback to get there. If you look at some of these other teams, like for example, this team 3, right? So he took a lot of Ravens and Vikings. So if it's Ravens Vikings in the Super Bowl, he has Lamar Jackson, he has Aaron Jones at running back, he has Justin Jefferson at receiver, he has Jordan Addison at receiver, he has Zay Flowers in the flex, and he has C.J. Hawkinson at tight end. Like think about how well correlated that is. And yeah, look, if the Ravens and Vikings doesn't get there, he's not going to win. But we're not going to win at all. Like regardless, because our team is not correlated at all. Whereas Z Shells' team is. And if he's lucky enough to get Ravens Vikings, then he has a legit chance of taking the whole thing down to 500K.
So you're saying that really the only legitimate strategy to win the whole thing, is you have to nail the Super Bowl matchup.
Yep.
That's it. That's the bottom line. And so, but of course, the difficulty of that is if the Super Bowl matchup is Chiefs and Lions, okay, you could get bounced in the first round pretty easily.
Yeah, exactly. The point of this isn't to win the first round. The point of this is to win the 500K.
Right, but Yeah, but there feels like there's a probability that I'm going to get bounced in the first round and then even in the Super Bowl matchup, like Mahomes, like from a fantasy perspective, has not been awesome. So even if maybe that changes in the playoffs. Certainly that could change. He's been better the last 5 games of the season he was early in the year. He was like the 17th fantasy quarterback overall, like, going, mid-season. I think he finished like, 9th overall in typical story, whatever. So he finished really good stretch, but still, like, even if you nail the Super Bowl like matchup, it's possible that your players not have great numbers and you can get bounced before you even get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I get it.
But you're playing for the upside. Like the way we did it, like we will never win. Like there's zero chance we win in the final week. Now we maybe could get there. Given that we have so many NFC teams, I think there's a decent chance that we win the first round and then lose in the semifinal or the second round.
I mean, if the Super Bowl was Eagles Bills,
yeah,
like I'm like looking right now, like the team that drafted in the 4 spot has Hurts and Brown. I get what you're saying.
They're getting Eagles Ravens. So look at Belay's team. So if it's Eagles Ravens, he has Jalen Hurts, he has Justice Hill, which is not great. Then AJ Brown, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, and then he has Kenneth Gainwell maybe to do something there. So like. And that Gainwell pick was great at the end because, like, you never know what's going to happen. So, and he gets points for that. So he's hoping for Eagles Ravens. Team 6 went Chiefs Lions. That's the example you said, which is it's really rough because both teams have buys. So you kind of have to wonder, like, how is he going to get out of that first round? So if it's Chiefs Lions, right, he gets Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco. This is running back. Receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. Receiver 2 is Hollywood Brown, and tight end is Travis Kelce. So obviously he'd have a great chance of winning, but you're like, okay, how does he get out of the first round?
Look at Herbert.
Right. I look at his first round picks. Quarterback's Justin Herbert, running back J.K. Dobbins, or Bucky Irving. His receivers are not great. Joshua Palmer, Romeo Doubs, Juju Smith-Schuster. What he probably should have done instead of Dobbins, he probably should have taken a receiver there. I think that was his mistake. A receiver who plays this week, probably like Cooper Kupp or Quentin Johnson. Like that would probably been better. And then tight end is going to be Will Dissly, who was, that could be good enough. But this doesn't look like he's going to get out of the first round. But like I said, like if he drafted Cooper Kupp instead of the Dobbins and Cooper Kupp goes off, then suddenly he's going to have a decent chance to win the first round. And if he does, this team's going to look amazing heading into round 2 and into further into the playoffs. So that's basically like the strategy there is try to sync up what you're doing. So like we took Saquon Barkley at 102 on the way back. I think you mentioned James Cook. I think James Cook was probably the right move is to go Eagles Bills. And so you go James Cook and then maybe we got Khalil Shakir anyway. I was thinking, okay, so I would have gone Saquon Barkley, James Cook, Devontae Smith, and Khalil Shakir. And actually, I'm thinking about that. See, even that's not good because then we don't have a quarterback. We're not going to have a quarterback for the Super Bowl. So, like, you have to think about that too. So there's like a lot of moving parts. Like maybe I don't know. I don't know what I do at that point because there's, like I said, there's no quarterback. What you could probably maybe do is try to draft like a secondary team like the Chargers and like maybe hope they get there too. So it's a tough spot to not have a quarterback. I think that's why quarterbacks go in the first round is because like you have that position filled and it's so easy to fill everything else.
Yeah. So if you if Josh Allen goes number one overall and you're going to shoot for an Eagles Bills Super Bowl, then really Jalen Hurts ought to be the second pick there.
Yeah.
Like as much as it pains to pass on Barkley, I just think Barkley could just totally go off in some of these games, man. And I think it's the type of scenario where it's like if you don't have him, like your probability of like making it out of the round goes down dramatically.
Right. And like
he could break the slate. Like, I mean, I think he could have 225 yards against the Packers. Like I think it's that nuts, right? Like
yeah.
I think he's so poised.
Yeah. And look, if it is Eagles Bills Super Bowl, someone who has Saquon Barkley is not going to have Allen or Hurts. It's just not possible.
Right.
Because they all go in the first round. So you could have a scenario where you have an Eagles-Bills Super Bowl, and the top scorer is Barkley out of those three players, despite the position. And then you have the leverage there, and then you probably so in that case you probably have to figure out who you like in the AFC and NFC championship at quarterback, and just hope you get to the Super Bowl. In that case, you have a team with no quarterback outscoring every other team with the two quarterbacks because they're not going to have Barkley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's still even with Barkley, a hard task, right?
Well, I mean, it comes down to the scoring. It's going to come down if it's Eagles-Bills Super Bowl. It's going to come down to Allen versus Barkley versus Hurts. Those are the three combination. Those are the the players that are going to be there on every team. And you just need Barkley to outscore Hurts and Allen, and which could happen. I mean, Barkley could go nuts in the Super Bowl. Like what if he goes nuts and like Allen and Hurts are just mediocre? Then suddenly your team with Barkley. Hopefully, you also have Devontae Smith and Khalil Shakir and or James Cook. I mean, at that point, your team is looking pretty good. So yeah, you could still do Eagles-Bills Super Bowl and just be locked out of a quarterback. You just need to make sure that your other quarterbacks go to the NFC or AC championship.
Right.
So yeah, with that in mind, let's want to do another one.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we do, I'm going to look at how many teams are in the Super Bowl. So it's kind of interesting, like how this contest is built because let's pull this up. So the payout. So the first round, you're playing against 6 players, right? 6 players, and then the next round's also you're playing against another pod of a bunch of winners, and then 6th round. The final round, this is the Super Bowl, is 544 players. So you have to outscore 543 other people if you make it to the Super Bowl. That's why I said that, like, yeah, if you make it to the Super Bowl and you only have like 2 or 3 players in your lineup, like you're just dead. And the prize, look at the pricing. So 251st to 544th, you get $500, which like is, it's nice, it's fine, but you want this money, you want 500K, 200K, 100K, like that's what you're aiming for here. So let's try to draft the team here, another team, and this will fill quickly. So. And Mahomes for MVP. Nobody wrote off the Chiefs. All people talked about was why we shouldn't write off the Chiefs. Yeah. What if the Chiefs get back there again? All right, we are pick 6 this time. So now we're in business. We're going to correlate our lineup and see how it goes.
So okay, what is a Super Bowl matchup that you would think is most likely?
Which like at pick 6 is going to be, we're going to center our team around Henry, St. Brown, or AJ Brown, right? So we are looking at Lions or Ravens, or who knows, maybe Jalen Hurts makes it to 6. You can try that. Getting Hurts and AJ Brown would be a great start. I'd love that.
Oh man,
I actually have drafted a couple teams. I had like the 4th or 5th pick. I took Hurts and then took Brown on the way back.
Feels unlikely Hurts lasts that long, but we'll see.
Well, is ADP is 5, right? So, and we're 6. So all it takes is for Derrick Henry to go before him, which could happen. Or who knows? Maybe there's a Viking fan here and they want Jefferson. So,
in my mind, I'm just convinced that the Eagles-Bills is the most likely Super Bowl combination.
Okay.
I think the Chiefs are susceptible. They're a great team. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest player on the planet, maybe the greatest player ever. So I'm never going to count that team out, ever. And it would not surprise me if they win another Super Bowl. Absolutely not. I do think they are susceptible. They've won a lot of close, fluky games this year. Just, I mean, they could have so easily been, rather than being they won 15 games. Rather than being I think they easily could have been a 12. I mean, they're still a very good team, but. They very easily could be playing this weekend.
Yeah, it's tough. They looked a lot better to close out the season. Xavier Worthy came on. Marquise Brown started playing. I think the arrow's pointing up for them. Wouldn't be surprised if they won. I gun in my head, I think it's Bills Eagles, like you said, but it could be the Chiefs, could be the Lions getting in there. I think those are the 4 favorites, like for a reason. Lamar Jackson goes 2. Let's see if Hurts gets to us. I think that'd be cool because then we can go Hurts and Brown, but we'll have to alter our strategy otherwise. Do you have any interest in Derrick Henry if he's there?
Yeah, 'cause I think they are likely. Yeah, I think they're I won't say likely. I think they're a viable team
Okay.
to win several games. Yeah.
Okay. This 261B guy looks like he timed out. I don't know if he's there or not. I've had a lot of success drafting best ball at night because sometimes people will time out because they've fallen asleep. Because
I understand that.
this, you're right. This is not the case here because these drafts fire off so quickly. Like during the regular season, like sometimes drafts take like 2 hours to fire off, and it's like if you signed up at 1 a.m. and suddenly it's 3 a.m., like you probably forgot that you you did a draft. So, so this is what it comes down to. This Arbroyles guy. Does he take Henry? Does he take Hurts? We'll see. No, and like so, that's a shame. Hurts goes. Okay, so what are we doing here? You still want to go Ravens Eagles? We can go Henry Brown, James Cook's in there. I don't think you want to go Vikings. Just Mahomes. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think Ravens Eagles, and then you still don't have a quarterback though, right?
Yeah, that's the problem here. Is you don't have a quarterback, but if you
Go
get
Chiefs Eagles, let's do it. Let's go Chiefs Eagles. F it.
Chiefs Eagles, okay.
Mahomes and Brown and screw. We'll make it work.
Okay. All right. Cool. AJ Brown, Mahomes. Let's go. All right. Eagles Chiefs. So
Super Bowl rematch.
Right. We're gonna have to take a quarterback for the first round of the playoffs, plus any other players for the first round that we miss out on. But yeah, yeah.
You got to risk it for the biscuit, Walt. Come on, man.
I like it. I've done an Eagles Chiefs. In fact, I think I sent you one of my lineups today. That was Eagles Chiefs, and it started with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, and then I went. I think I went Kelsey after that. I think that's what I did. So I don't know if we're gonna get Kelsey on the way back. We could. I know you don't like your tight ends, but I mean, remember what Kelsey did last playoffs.
Yeah, it's a different format. It's different format. Yeah.
Yeah, and tight end means more too because there are fewer running backs. It's kind of weird to only start one running back. It's so strange.
Yeah, I gotta do. I'm probably gonna crunch the numbers on the VBD. Like how does the value shift there? I'd be curious.
Yeah, there is a flex too, but yeah, it is a lot weirder. I want to see if this guy times out again, which could help later on. We'll see. I don't know why he'd time out like this soon. Okay, so he took Barkley and Henry. So let's see if he correlates that at all. Yeah, this Y Shuren guy took Gibbs and St. Brown. I actually did that at the turn in one of my drafts. I did the Lions, and then I did Lions Chargers. I actually built like a really good team. Like if it happened to be Lions Chargers, like my team would have a really good chance of winning the whole thing. Not that the Chargers are one of the favorites, but still. I think that's like.
What's the line on that game this weekend?
Chargers are -3 at the Texans. So this guy
it's -2.5 at the Hard Rock.
Okay, I wonder if it moved at all. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like 2.5 in some books, 3 in some others. So
it's a key move, though.
Yeah, I took the Texans for the spread. Looks like this guy took Devontae Smith. So this guy's trying Eagles Bills. Looks like this guy's going Ravens Rams. And we'll see.
This guy's timing out.
Yeah, we'll see if this guy times out again. We'll see if he takes like another running back. I think we know for sure. All right, so who do we have left? We do have Kelsey. I'm going to start him. Eagles, Lions. There's Xavier Worthy, and Dallas Goedert. So I'm gonna mark down the Eagles and Chiefs guys.
I think Noah Gray is a sneaky option there too.
Yeah, toward the end, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As is Johan Dotson. I mean, you saw him play great in the last game of the season. He showed people that he's still. I've got a theory on why he was terrible all year, but I think it had to do with Hurts' style play.
Really?
Yeah, Hurts just doesn't do a full read of the field ever. He just And I think the Eagles' offense is just structured around 2 reads. Like make 2 reads, and if it's not there, like he's just not good enough to make. He's just So, like Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee are full read. They don't have the talent of of Jalen Hurts. Certainly, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback overall, but the Hurts has one glaring flaw. That's pretty significant.
Okay, we're gonna be taking Kelsey here. Do you want Xavier Worthy with the other pick? There's Mike Evans, Khalil Shakir, Sam Laporta, Kyron Williams, Lad McConkey, Bucky Irving. We can maybe get Bucky Irving next time. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I think the Buccaneers are likely to win 1 game. So
okay, let's make sure we get Xavier Worthy though. All right, so it's a if the Eagles Chiefs get there, it's the Super Bowl. We have Mahomes. We have no running back yet. We could get Pacheco or Kareem Hunt, and then we have Brown, Worthy, and Kelsey, and then we need a flex. So someone took Dallas Goedert. It's jerk. See, this is team. He took an NFC. He took all NFC guys. He took Hurts, Jefferson, Jones, and then Goddard. So
that team's not going to win. Right. I get your point now. Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, like what's his lineup going to be in the Super Bowl? So
I mean, that guy may be saying to himself like, "I'm going to get out of I win a couple rounds and then I win $500. I'm at he might be happy,
Yeah, look, it's fine. Sometimes you have to hit some singles, I guess, but there's just so many variants. There's so much variance in this that I think you just have to go for it all. Like why? Because he may not even get out of the first round. So. What if Jones doesn't do well? Goddard, that's Goddard at 402 is not a great pick. I get pairing Hurts with Goddard. That's I don't hate it, but it's not great. It's not like you got an amazing value. So, this draft cheat is going after Ravens Rams clearly. He knows what he's doing. It's Lamar Jackson, Andrews, Nakua, and Kyron Williams. So if it's Ravens Rams, he's looking great. So you just have to play for the upside. And if it's not Ravens Rams, then he's just not going to win anything. So I think just going for the upside just makes so much sense. So this Eero 80 first team, he's going Bills Eagles. So he's Josh Allen, James Cook, Devontae Smith, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. It's all about finding the pairings and stuff. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, so going back to the first team that we drafted, have you gone Barkley, James Cook? If it's Eagles, Bills, hey, even if you don't have the quarterback, but you have the 2 running backs and it's a running back driven game, well, now you've got a real legitimate chance to win.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, we're up. Jacobs is there. Nico Collins, maybe him. McLaurin, because we need a receiver.
Quarterback.
Yeah, there's Pacheco if you want him. I'm going to start him. So we could take Pacheco with one of our picks. But we do need a quarterback for the first round. We have no running back yet. We could take Mixon or Dobbins.
I think I like Baker as my favorite of the bunch.
Okay, you like Baker?
Of those first round quarterbacks.
I think we get Baker in the next round. I don't know, because everyone has quarterbacks already,
Yeah.
Do you like Texans or Chargers better? Because I feel like we could take a couple of Texans or a couple of Chargers.
I think it could be a close, high-scoring game, actually.
Okay.
So that leaves with Nico.
Yeah, let's get Nico and then get Mixon on the way back. So if the Texans win the first round, we have those guys for two games. Mm-hmm. Who knows, maybe 3. All right, so we're going to go a couple of Texans here because we need guys in the first round. And if Nico Collins and Joe Mixon go off, we also have AJ Brown. That could win for us, So it makes sense. So right now, if Eagles Chiefs gets the Super Bowl, we have Mahomes, Pacheco, Brown, Worthy, and Kelsey, and we just need a flex. So we only need to draft one more Eagles or Chiefs player, and that could be Noah Gray at the end. So right now, we can concentrate on just drafting the best players for the first and second rounds now. So I kind of like that setup.
Yep. Did Mixon just went? Did I see?
No, he has not gone yet. So hopefully it doesn't go. I mean, the Chargers guys are more likely to go because they're the favorites, but I think I agree with what you said. I think that it could be it's gonna be a high scoring game. Could go either way. Take Kenneth Gainwell late. Barkley could get hurt. Yeah, I like that pick too. I think that's a really good pick in like the second to last round. Jacobs goes. Kenny not taking running back first 2 rounds, sacrilege.
Agree. Total agree.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different here with the running back, but yeah, it's funny.
The other strategy I said would be if you try to nail the running backs. Like if you try to,
Yeah.
if you don't know the quarterbacks, try to nail the running backs. If you get, if you have Saquon and James Cook, and it's a Saquon, it's a running back game. I mean, that would make sense. It's 2024, right? That's the resurgence of the running back.
Yep.
Probably not.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, that's been the theme all year, right? So it could definitely happen. And yeah, like I said, you need your running backs to outscore the quarterbacks in that Super Bowl, and it could happen because, like I said, if it's Eagles Bills, no one's going to have no one's going to have Barkley plus Allen or Barkley plus Hurts. Like
right.
It's just not possible. Zach, that's a little early for Zach Ertz. Yeah, so this team that we talked about just drafting NFC players. Where is he? Let's see. He took another Minnesota player. He finally took his first AFC player in Isaiah Likely. So I don't quite know what he's doing here.
Baker's still going to be available here in the next 2 picks. I don't know if this is the spot to take the quarterback next.
Yeah, I think so. Some teams are. This guy drafted a second quarterback. I think So
Mixon's still on the board.
You want to go Mixon plus Baker?
Yeah, I mean, I think or Daniels if you like Daniels more, but I like Baker more.
I like Baker more too. All right.
I think the Buccaneers are going to win that game.
Okay, and maybe we can get McMillan on the way back too. That'd be pretty sweet. So, yeah. So, all right. So the team in Week 1, because we're not going to have Mahomes or Kelsey or Worthy, so we're going to need another tight end. We have Mayfield, Mixon, Brown, Collins, no tight end yet, and what's our flex? We don't have a flex yet. And we don't have a flex. So yeah, we're hopefully we get McMillan and a tight end. Who's left at tight end? Let's look. There's Hawkinson, Kraft, Freiermuth, Disley, Schultz. Schultz pairs well with the Texans guys. Or I don't know if Otten's going to play. What's his status?
I don't think so.
Trending in the right direction. Yeah, I don't know about him,
but my guess would be my favorite. I think Freiermuth is probably my favorite of that bunch.
I think he could do well. Watching Kenny with the strategy is like watching a boxing purist have to watch an MMA match. McMillan goes. That sucks. That's funny. Okay, so
I'm understanding. I'm adaptable.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. It's really a shame that McMillan went. I think that would have been pretty cool. All right. So yeah, we need what do we need? We need a tight end and we need a second receiver. Or actually, it could be a third running back too. We need a flex and a tight end for week.
Is Jaden Reed still on the board? Although he's only going to play one game.
He is. That kind of meshes with Brown though, which is whatever.
It could be a high score game though, right? Like
it could.
If it's a high scoring game, and I don't know correlation. It's typical DK strategy.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you like Jaden Reed. Kareem Hunt just went. Jaden Reed, and then what are we doing at tight end? You still like Freiermuth over these other guys? Tucker Kraft, Noah Gray.
We need a first round guy, right?
I mean, yeah, we need a tight end for the first week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Freiermuth has the best matchup against the Ravens. Kraft against the Eagles, I don't like.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, let's go Jaden Reed and then Pat Freiermuth. So, okay, and we have 2 picks left. So this should be one of them. Should be either Noah Gray or Kenneth Gainwell. Actually, they could both be it. That could be how we end our draft here, because we need more guys for the Super Bowl now. I like this. I like this lineup for Week 1. Because
Noah Gray just went, by the way.
Okay, Noah Gray went. All right. Okay. Yeah, for Week 1, this seems like pretty good because like if Mayfield goes off, like that could happen. AJ Brown could have a huge game. Joe Mixon obviously could. Nico Collins could. Like Freiermuth, like you said, good matchup. Like these are. It seems like a team that could win Week 1, and if that happens, suddenly we get all the Chiefs guys come in, and we have a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl, which is really likely of all the other matchups. So. I like this team a lot more. Do you see like how this team has so much more of a chance to win? You know.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's make sure we don't get timed out here. So we have let's definitely get Gainwell. I love that suggestion. I don't see any other Eagles or Chiefs players. I wish you could sort by team, but you can't. Aeneas Smith is the next Eagle. I don't want to take him.
Yeah, I mean Dotson would be the guy to consider.
You want Dotson?
Yeah. I mean, there's always a chance for crazy random Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, it's true. Look, all he needs is a touchdown, right? And then suddenly he becomes viable.
Who was the Steelers? Who is the Niners player who scored big in the Super Bowl after having nothing all year? Who was it? Was it Juwan Jennings? No,
it was Juwan Jennings. Yeah,
it was Juwan Jennings. That's right.
Yeah.
He had like 15 catches all year, for like 85 yards, and then he has more yards in the Super Bowl than he had all year combined.
Yeah.
The year that the Russell Wilson game, the Russell Wilson interception at the goal line against the Patriots game, there was a receiver in that game that had more yards. I can't remember who the receiver. The guy that had the crazy catch down the field, I think. Can't remember his name. Anyway, it was a receiver in that game. He literally had more yards in the game than the rest of the season combined.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny that like sometimes you just get guys coming out of nowhere.
Corey Clement, and
it's Jermaine Kearse.
Oh, that's right. It was Kearse. That's his name.
Yeah. By the way, look at this disrespect. They took the other Eagles receiver. It's similar ideas. Actually, I don't. This is the guy who took all NFC guys. How many AFC guys did this guy take? So likely Justice Hill, Kareem Hunt, Marquise Brown, Noah Gray. All right, so you did end up with some AFC guys, but I don't know. This team just doesn't look good. Okay. Let's stay here for a second. Is Christian Watson hurt? Well, yeah. His non-concussion injury is already out. Yeah, it sucks. Would you take Pickett in the last round with Hurts' concussion thing, or are you not afforded that luxury? You can if you want. I don't know. I feel like with AJ Brown, I don't know. Like you could, it makes sense. Like, but as Evan pointed out yesterday, he had strong conviction that Jalen Hurts is going to get cleared today or tomorrow.
He was cleared today, this afternoon.
He was cleared. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's not an issue. So, but yeah, you could take it back to quarterback.
He was limited participant in practice, but which means he's cleared because if you're in a concussion protocol, you cannot practice at all.
Okay, interesting. I just wanted to hear Walt say, of course, but he didn't. Well, I didn't bet on him. If I bet on him, then yes, of course, he got hurt. I almost wanted to I saw Christian Watson's dad on Sunday send out an angry tweet saying my son works so hard and all these people are criticizing him for getting hurt. I almost wanted to retweet him or quote tweet him and be like, guys, calm down. Like, why are you guys jumping on Christian Watson? just this troll. I wanted to see if he would react to that at all. Do you want to do one more draft?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Last draft. Let's see if we get anything new here. So hopefully we're not picked. Hopefully we're new spot here. You didn't draft last year's Super Bowl star Mecole Hardman. It's true. We didn't draft Hardman. Maybe we should have drafted him. Watson is very good. The Packers need him this week. Yeah, he just adds a new element. We're pick 5, so we're gonna get Jalen Hurts. That's exciting, I think. Right? Or Jahmyr Gibbs. Watson, look, he's not great by any means, but he gives the Packers this element they don't have otherwise. Like this major deep threat. Like he's the only guy who does that. Like Jader Reed is so good underneath. Like Romeo Dobbs is just solid possession receiver, but Watson is the deep threat they don't have if he's out, and so just missing him makes that offense so much less explosive. And like, yeah, I know you don't like him, but like, and he drops a lot of passes, but like having him on the field, I just think that makes such a big difference. Like, because
of course,
teams have to cover the Packers otherwise, like differently.
Yeah, it changed. I mean, I dog on him because I think he's an inconsistent player, but for fantasy purposes, it doesn't mean that they can't utilize him in real life.
Right. Yeah, he drops a lot of passes, and
I think he's overrated. I mean, I just so much hype over this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So many excuses. Oh, his hamstring was oversized. Like I think the weirdest, goofiest. Like this guy. Never seen players get these kind of weird passes. Just weird excuses. I don't know.
Yeah, oversized hamstring is weird. Like, how does that happen?
He's like working out wrong. What do you too many squats with your left leg? Like what? It's so strange.
Those one-legged squats didn't work out, huh?
This is why I don't work out. I don't want to unintentionally get one hamstring bigger than the other. That's just my fear. Greatest fear in life.
You're right, Kenny. You shouldn't work out.
This is why I stay home and drink Diet Coke.
Right. you got to get the aspartame in there as much.
No one in the history of humanity has ever had an oversized hamstring due to Diet Coke. It's never happened.
No, not at all. Okay. All right. Okay. We have picked 5. This is I think this is gonna be more fun. So Lamar Jackson went 1. Wow. Josh Allen. Wow. If you're Shaloon, how happy are you at 2? That's fantastic. That's the first time I saw it. This is like my 10th or 11th draft.
And Josh Allen's been number 1 every time?
Yeah, every single time. Which I the Bills are either the favorite or the second favorite in the AFC. You figure he's playing in the first round, so you figure that he's going to play 3 or 4 games. So it makes sense. All right, we got Henry went. So we have Gibbs and Hurts both. You want Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I think you got to go Hurts, right? I mean, I think the quarterback. I think you convinced me. You sold me.
Yeah, quarterbacks early here, Kenny. I know Kenny's soul is on fire.
It's painful. It's painful, guys.
Yeah,
I am a boxing purist, by the way. I am. Forget this MMA nonsense.
Well, hopefully we get Brown. Hopefully the Shredder guy doesn't take our AJ Brown stack. That would be pretty painful. We'll see.
Is it too early to go Devontae Smith in the second round?
I don't know. I don't think it's ever too early to take anyone in the best ball playoffs.
Although, what position are we going to go? Bills, Eagles here? Are we going to? What's the other?
Well,
James Cook's on the board.
What'd you say?
James Cook's on the board, right?
James Cook is on the board, yeah. But I mean, for now, like he might not get there. If James Cook comes back at 305, no, never mind. He goes 201. All right, we're going to take AJ Brown. And we have a great Eagles stack here with Hurst and Brown. That's fantastic. It'd be great if Devontae Smith comes back to us at 305, and then we're really cooking. Because not only do we get correlation, we get all guys who play in the first weekend. So that would be awesome. James Cook at 201 is kind of interesting. I wonder what this guy's playing. I guess he's planning Lions Bills Super Bowl here. Jefferson goes 204. The Vikings are. What do you think about? I know you picked the Vikings to win, and you told me that you think the Vikings win. I don't know. Both Evan and I like the Rams to pull the upset over the Vikings, but I maybe Devontae Smith just won.
My leaning is Vikings, but I mean it's 1.5 point spread, right? In most books,
yeah.
1-1. I mean it should be a close game.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think it's such a bad matchup for them because all right, we're going to be upset. I'll explain that in a second, but we can go Chiefs again. We have Kelsey available. No Mahomes. Mahomes just went. For AFC teams, there's Xavier Worthy's. We could do Eagles Chargers, or we could start with Chiefs and then work our way toward the Chargers or something. Like Kelsey's available. I think Kelsey is the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's boring to go Eagles Chiefs again, but I think that's the direction we've gone in here. You
Yeah.
know, okay, let's do that. And I think I'm going to like this team more just because we have Jalen Hurts too. We don't have to worry about Baker Mayfield or anything. And then what are you thinking here for the fourth pick? Because there's still Xavier Worthy. I'm going to star him. Um, my thinking is that, or we're up now. We can take a couple of Chiefs and like pivot to another AFC team or something a little later. So we have both. But is there anything you like? Laporta, Jones, these are all NFC guys. That's the crappy part about this.
Yeah. I mean, I love Irving in the first round. I was kind of too early to take him, but
Yeah. All right, we're getting worthy here. So for the Lions, sorry, for the Vikings Rams game, the Vikings blitz at the highest rate in the NFL. So they can disrupt any quarterback who sucks against the blitz. But Stafford's so good against the blitz. He's this year against the blitz, he's thrown 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and his completion percentage is actually higher against the blitz than it is when he's not blitzed. And they played each other earlier in Week 8, and the Rams won 30-20. I just think it's a really bad matchup for the Vikings. So if Matthiasen, if you're watching, sorry, you should do Chargers Eagles. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I think like we can still get those Chargers players. They didn't go yet, so we could go McConkey and Dobbins on the way back. Hopefully they're there. And then like
I actually like that a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's kind of interesting. And if the Chiefs get there, I think we have a chance here because we're gonna have Hurts. We need a running back, but they're gonna have Brown, Worthy, and Kelsey. Ah, crap, McConkey goes. We can still go Dobbins, and then Quentin Johnson later. There's Pacheco. I'm just looking at AFC players. That sucks. McConkey went. We could try Texans again with Collins and Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking here? Because we're up soon. Top AFC players: Nico Collins, Pacheco. Mixon went.
I like Pacheco in the mix the most, and Jalen Warren as an outside guy as well as a potential. Maybe he's too early though.
Yeah. So what did you say? Collins or Pacheco?
Yeah, I would go Pacheco over, but
you go Pacheco first. Okay, let's go Pacheco.
Yeah, we don't have any running backs, right?
Yeah. All right, let's go Pacheco first, and maybe we'll get Collins on the way back. That sucks. McConkey went. I like that strategy a lot. Yeah, but yeah, I mean Eagles Chiefs again, but which is like I think one of the highest likelihoods of Super Bowl. Like, you know, it's Eagles, Bills, Lions, Chiefs, and some like in those orders, and then maybe I don't know. I don't like the Ravens. Maybe they sneak in. I do think the Chargers are a legit sleeper. And like who else really? Mayfield just went. All right, let's we have Collins queued up, so we can get Mixon next for the first round.
Yep, I like Mixon. I think I think the Bucks are a live dog in the playoffs. In the second round they play the Eagles, and so I don't think they're gonna win that game, but I don't think it's totally out of the question.
Yeah. Look, they beat the Eagles last year, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Collins. Hopefully we get Mixon on the way back. I'm gonna star him, and I should probably star Hollywood Brown just while we're at it. Dobbins is still there. That really sucks that McConkey went. That would have been a pretty cool secondary stack for the Super Bowl. But yeah, we'll come to it if we need to. But yeah, so we still need a running back for the first weekend. We need a tight end for the first weekend. Dallas Goedert did not go, right? Did he go? I'm not seeing Dallas Goedert.
Oh, interesting. No,
we can get Goddard too.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's the highest player available. So we'll see. Okay, Dobbins just went.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Well, we're trying to get Mixon anyway because we have Collins. So Goddard just went. Okay. Yeah, it's a little late for Goddard. Usually like 6th round. Um, I think if Mixon's available, we go Mixon.
Yeah,
I
I think
I
he's
love
best.
it. I love that matchup win in round one against the Chargers. Chargers run defense has been so bad.
I'm looking at the bracket right now. I'm trying to determine which team playing are going to go. We're going to go Mixon here,
Yeah, we're gonna go Mixon.
and then Brown on the way back.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. What's the team playing week one? It's most likely that's unexpected. Most likely to go to a title game. I'm trying to. As much as it pains me to say it, I think the Buccaneers are the team. Like it would not. I don't think it's likely, but it certainly would not surprise me if the Buccaneers were to go into Philadelphia round two and win that game, and
yeah,
end up playing playing the Detroit Lions in the NFC title game, rematch of last year's playoff game.
yeah.
I would just know if that were to happen, I'd be crying. Just know if the Eagles lose to the Buccaneers in round two, all of you just know somewhere in the world, Kenny is shedding a tear.
Well, yeah, I hear you. That it could happen. I think the Eagles take it to them this time. Um, Last year they had those problems. Their defense was awful last year, and earlier this year they didn't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith or Lane Johnson. All right, so Super Bowl right now. Eagles Chiefs. We have Hurts, we have Pacheco, we have Brown, we have Worthy, Kelsey, and then Marquise Brown. All right, we have a full lineup. If it's Eagles Texans, we have Hurts, Mixon, Brown, Collins, and then we would need a tight end and flex, but maybe we take Dalton Schultz and then like Gainwell at the end or something. So that's why I like to like build like these two possibilities. No, look, the Texans are not getting there, but like on the off chance, like who knows? Like the Cardinals in 2008, I bring this up all the time. The Cardinals in 2008 looked so bad down the stretch. They won their division easily, but they look awful at the end. And yet they got to the Super Bowl versus Pittsburgh in a game, one of the best Super Bowls we've seen.
Yep, it's a great game.
Yeah, they just caught fire. All right, so what do we need? We need a tight end for week one. I wouldn't mind another running back for week one.
I like Schultz. And then what are the running back options for week one?
We have Justice Hill, Brian Robinson,
I think Brian
Gainwell.
Robinson is a good option.
Okay, I'm gonna queue him up there. Um,
Or Jalen Warren. I think Jalen Warren is a potential a sneaky play as well, particularly if the Steelers were to win a game and if they beat the Ravens, it's because Jalen Warren has done something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we can get.
Beat the Chargers.
We can get Warren later. I think so. Let's go Robinson, and then let's go Schultz. Oh wait. Crap. I thought I'm used to picking twice in a row. I just removed Dalton Schultz. All right. Let's put him up there. So they didn't have to go through Herbert, Mahomes, and Lamar / Allen though. But they look, John. They had to go through Jake Delhomme. Okay, there's far fewer quarterbacks who are as good as Jake Delhomme. I know. I get it. I know.
I mean, they beat McNabb and the Eagles in the title game.
They did. Then they beat Matt Ryan in the first round. So Matt Ryan, McNabb, not bad. Let's go Dalton Schultz here. So we actually have like a viable Eagles Texans Super Bowl, which would be fun. Imagine if it's Eagles Texans and this lineup is live to win. Yeah, no, look, I know I'm not saying the Texans are going to the Super Bowl, but I think they do have legit talent. They have one of the top pass rushes in the NFL. They have Nico Collins, who's amazing. Joe Mixon's fantastic. CJ Stroud's not having a great year, but last year he was great, and at the start of the year he was good. The issue for them, has been their blocking. But maybe Laramie Tunsil improves. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't think it's like crazy to think they can make a run. I don't think it'll happen, but I don't think it's insane to think that.
Right.
Like they're not like the Broncos. I think are 0% chance to win. The Redskins are 0% chance to win. I don't think the Texans are 0%. Maybe they're like 1% or 2%, but they're not. I don't think they're 0. But I don't know. Maybe they are 0. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Like, I don't know. I think they have something. Like they got to the second round last year. Like there's something there.
I mean, Marvin Mims has looked great. The last game and a half. So you never know.
Yeah, all the guys I had Raymaker cars for. I had Marvin Mims. I had Chase Brown. Think about how much money it could be making with this.
I don't understand Marvin Mims. Like, I don't understand. Like, this guy was like 0 all year, and then all of a sudden he's caught fire over a course of a 2-game period. Like, what? Like, how do coaches forget that did like Sean Payton forget that Marvin Mims on his roster? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I took Gainwell to kind of fill this out, and then we're gonna get Jalen Warren to close out this draft. So. I think this is the best of the 3 drafts we've done.
Yeah, it took me a little bit. I
told you the first draft was going to be a disaster.
Yeah, it took me a second to kind of think through the strategy, right?
Yeah, and I like that we only have 1 quarterback. Like, if you have Jalen Hurts, you don't need another quarterback. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I guess you could.
If the Eagles were to lose, this team is toast.
So. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's how you have to play it. All right, please don't take Jalen Warren. All right, he did not. I took Marvin Mims. Okay, there you go. All right, we took Jalen Warren to close out this draft. Week 1, round 1 of the draft, we have of this league, we have Hurts, we have Mixon, we have AJ Brown, Nico Collins, and Dalton Schultz, and our flex is it Robinson? I guess it is. I guess, right? Brian Robinson. That's probably a weak point, but who knows? And then, if we get to the Super Bowl, we have Eagles Chiefs. We have a full Eagles Chiefs lineup. We actually have a full Eagles Texans lineup too, which is fun. So I like having that safety valve there. So Eagles, and then 2 of the teams that have a chance. So yeah, that's our best ball drafts.
I like it.
Yeah. Let's see. Aziz will hit Herbert so hard he'll actually fly back to San Diego. We're not just releasing Hargrave. Their cap reckoning has arrived, Kenny. There it is.
I'll have to look at. I'll have to look and see what the actual cap ramifications is for Hargrave.
Yeah. What a shame Kenny can't draft a kicker in this.
It is a tragedy. I agree.
Can you imagine how annoying that would be to take kickers? What if you get locked out of kickers?
You know what I just also thought? This the current playoff format makes this more viable. Can you imagine if they still were doing, only 2 teams with a bye from every conference?
Oh, yeah.
This would make this an almost impossible task.
Oh, it'd be hard. It would be yeah. Like, what would you do in the first round? Like, you draft all players who would be eliminated by the conference finals.
Yeah. So it would be, I DraftKings, as many things that benefit from the NFL's power or money grab in adding games. Yeah,
for sure. All right. I don't know if, I guess that's about it. We've been recording for an hour and a half. Unless you're
talking smack.
Unless you're itching to do another one. If it is almost 1 a.m. here. So,
all right, I guess I should go to bed.
Yeah. We should. Hopefully they do play up best ball for round 2. I think that'd be kind of cool. You don't have to worry about the bye weeks. But we'll see. If they do that, maybe we'll do it next week as well. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it and commenting as always. Kenny, always great to do this with you. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Kenny wanted to talk about the cap is fake.
Check it out. The cap is fake, not just on Wednesday nights. It is fake all year round. And I prove it on the website. Check it out. Thecapsfake.com. I have started multiple blogs that never finish. One day I'll finish them and have more content.
One day you're gonna release everything that you started
all at once.
I know. It's so hard to it's so hard with the kids to concentrate stuff. Who does Kenny want to see in the college championship? We have. Are you familiar with the matchups?
Yeah. I have come out of retirement. I come out of college football retirement. The college football playoff, I mean, I'm a nominal fan, so it kind of brought me back in. I think it's great. I think 12 teams is still too many. I think I'm convinced it's too many. But I'm going to be rooting for Penn State. You know, I'm a nominal Pennsylvania. I mean, I'm born and raised in Pennsylvania, so I'm a nominal Penn State fan. Generally root for the teams in the state. I think Penn State and what the other matchup is Texas and Ohio State, right?
So what you saying? Texas and Ohio State, yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun to see Texas Penn State. That seems like a fun kind of throwback matchup.
Texas Penn State, interesting. I think Ohio State. I posted my picks this morning. I have Ohio State and Notre Dame winning, which
the two teams I'm rooting for are not going to win.
Yeah, like I'm a Penn State alumnus. I'm like the worst Penn State alumnus. I couldn't care less if they win.
I think Texas Pennsylvania championship would be fun. One would be Texas is the anchor for the Trump victory, being Red State, and Pennsylvania is the state to put them over the top. So it's like a perfect 1-2 punch.
Oh no, you missed the other connection, which is the Texas v Pennsylvania lawsuit that occurred in the 2020 election.
Where that's right.
Texas sued Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania changed its voting laws, and that affected the entire election. And the Supreme
Court.
We're off
the rails now.
What'd you say?
We're off the rails.
Well, yeah. Look, it's almost 1 a.m. here, but no. The Supreme Court threw it out. The Supreme Court didn't even look at it. Alito and Thomas wanted to look at it, but the others just threw it out. And Texas had a legitimate gripe because Pennsylvania actually went against its own laws to change the election laws in Pennsylvania. And so,
but Walter, COVID.
Right. I'm sorry. I forgot. We changed all our rules because of a disease that only impacts 85-year-olds. I'm sorry.
So insensitive, Walt.
I know. It's so bad. Look, I don't know.
So insensitive.
Yeah. We are insensitive. We are the most insensitive show on YouTube. So yeah. All right. Kenny will release everything all at once, just like a team, 75 million over the cap.
That's me. I'm right up against it.
Right. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with Andy. I assume Andy didn't tell me he's not coming on. So in the Red State playoff, can Pennsylvania use its Amish players? Why not? That works.
Jeremiah and Zebediah have been churning butter all year.
Yeah. His forearms are strong. They're ready to take on the Notre Dame players. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll be back with Andy tomorrow night. And like I said last night, I don't know if we're going to do a show on Saturday because I have family coming in for my son's 3-year-old birthday party. We could do a show. I play it by ear. I don't know how long they'll stay. My brother-in-law sometimes spends the night, but he used to live in New York, and so now he lives in Harrisburg, so he may not. So if he's over, I won't be able to come to the computer. But if everyone leaves, then I'll definitely be doing the show. So I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter or whatever that night. But otherwise, shows as usual throughout the week. But all right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later.
You the man, Walt.
You the man.